Okay, guys, more from the Rainy B cards. I'm loving these. So, do you think that HBCUs have the same importance / value currently as they did in prior eras?
Oh.
No. I think they're greater.
Oh, you think they're greater?
They're greater.
Me too.
I do. Mm-hmm.
I do too. Because of all the things that happened with Black Lives Matter
Yes.
and all of the things that the younger people were seeing that we already knew about, but they kind of like went through a pause and didn't recognize that racism was still alive. And so it came out on the news, it was everywhere,
Yes.
they were a part of it, and so they were like, we're going to an HBCU.
And I think
the
that's why
influx.
their enrollment has
Mhm.
jumped.
Oh, it's jumped. You
Yeah.
can't get a
I
child. You can't get a child.
And the political climate over the last couple of years, race has become part of the political climate.
Agreed.
And we have flocked to places that we feel comfortable.
Well, that we feel comfortable and you feel safe. I mean, I feel so safe knowing my boys are at HBCU right now. Much safer than I would anywhere else. But one thing I do want to say about HBCUs, and it really annoys me when you have like uninformed people and they'll say, well, why do black people need their own schools or whatever? Let's make it clear that HBCU started because we were not permitted. Like, didn't matter about grades. Based on our skin color, we weren't allowed to go to most schools. I mean, my mother wanted to go to UVA, and she wasn't allowed to go. I mean, she went for graduate school.
Right.
And this is my mother, y'all. This ain't my great-great-great-grandmother.
Right,
you know,
right.
they tried to make it act like it was a long time ago. Right? And so they created these schools out of a need because we couldn't go. So, of course, then I guess it had the most importance. But now, but I think it did lull. Because I think, and this is something I really want to get into with black folks. I think that we have been brainwashed to believe that if it's white, it's better.
Right.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yes.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
But we're moving away from that.
And you think we're moving away?
I
do you think that people brag like, oh, my child is going to Howard with the same excitement that they would say my child's going to Harvard?
I think it depends on what that mother or father values. If they think white is better, then they're going to think that. But if you are a person who has raised your child to be proud of their blackness, then you're going to say they are in Howard.
I agree.
But people always think when I love HBCUs that I'm saying that no one should go to PWIs, predominantly white institutions. And I want to stress, I don't think that. Like, I think it's fine for your kids to go anywhere because there's different kids, different, whatever. And hell, if my son had gotten into Harvard, I mean, which he wouldn't have. He could. None of my sons.
My godsons could be.
I agree.
But but if I'm considering like most schools, I would say are in the middle of the bell curve, right?
Yes.
It's been HBCU hands down.
Yes.
For me. But why?
Well, being a graduate of an HBCU, I wanted my daughter to experience all the love, all the things that come with HBCU.
Yes.
So she did get a scholarship to a PWI, a very nice one.
Yeah.
And it would have been, extremely more economic for her to go there.
Right.
But we chose the HBCU route, and she's happy, and I'm happy. And when all of the crap that happens in the world happens, and racism is on the TV screen, and we're all on 1,000, she reminds me. She said, "Aren't you glad I went to an HBCU? Because I'd probably be up there in jail."
Oh, I'd be in jail. Without a doubt.
I think it's nice for the kids. I don't have kids, but I think I have encouraged.
You have a lot of kids.
I have a lot of
grandkids, nephews, nieces.
I wanted them to really go to undergraduate for HBCU. I think it is a different experience that I wish that they could experience, and that love. And then you could go to a PWI for graduate school.
And that's what I tell people that that's my family's philosophy.
And it is a different feeling. And I will say I went to, an HBCU for undergrad and I went to a PWI for undergrad. And there is a difference. I love the HBCU.
Right.
I am not attached to the PWI. I could care less.
Right.
And it's a different feeling. And it carries you through the years. And I think the love grows.
The love does grow.
Love
You
grows.
appreciate
And
because
we go back to homecoming more.
Because
of the love, I think homecomings for HBCUs are so big because you love it so much.
But you love it because when in your life do you get an opportunity to be around all black people to feel accepted as who you are, your hair, your skin color, your principles, and black people who are on the same path as you. Like,
That's
not, on
too.
the same path,
Yep.
not just black people.
Yes.
But I've been seeing a lot of these TikTok videos, and a lot of the kids that are alternative is what they're calling them. Some people, like, they're not fitting in the black stereotype of things, are saying that they feel very ostracized. And I thought, because Evan, both years in his dorm, have had kids that were like skateboarders, gamers, very, into anime. And I did a video actually saying, like, I love how HBCUs are now not acting like black people are a monolith.
Right.
And that we're different, right? But I'm now seeing these videos where people are saying, no, like, I don't feel welcome. The one quote it reminds me of, and I don't know it exactly, when they say the arch of justice is long. Because I'm like, you need to see, like, I wish they knew how it was when we went to Tuskegee undergrad. Like, as far as I knew, there was not one gay person on campus. Like, it did not exist. And gay was like, it didn't exist because no one, and of course there were gay people.
I had a different experience at HBCU. Like, of course there were.
Openly gay is what I'm saying. No, I'm saying, of course there were gay people, but there was not one open. Like,
You're right, not open.
That's what I mean. I mean, now I think back, like, about, some of our
That's
friends, like Dion, who literally, Dion was gay, right? Like, but we didn't, but he wasn't open with it.
Right,
He was just, someone would say, very fashion. Like, Reggie, who was in a fashion school, I think he was the only openly gay man at Tuskegee University the entire 4 years I was there. I mean,
and he wasn't, openly saying, "Hey, I'm gay." It was more of a metro style.
You could have just thought he was fly.
Right.
And so I want to say to these students, I know we ain't where we should be, but damn, we come a long way, right? And my friend Keon used to get his ass, like, he used to get in trouble because he skateboarded throughout the school. He was a champion skateboarder, like, won awards.
Yeah.
And black people like, we don't be skateboarding. what you weird, right? But now, it wouldn't be an issue.
But still, black people are more accepting of others through the history.
Yeah.
So even if, they were openly gay back then, we would still be more accepting.
Well, I think we have the hardest with the gay thing because we're Southern, that Southern Baptist, whatever. That is like, we still work, we got a ways to go with that.
Still even in church, the whole church
we got to
thing,
work on that. I mean, but when I go to Hampton now, see my sons. A lot of people are openly gay. I see lesbian couples. I see it openly, so it's very different. I'm not saying it's not harder, but what I question when they say HB, would it not be like that in a lot of places? And what I encourage people to do, like even my son, who is not the most social person, I say find your people.
Yeah.
Like at an HBCU, there are black people like you.
Yes.
Right.
Whatever you are, whatever that is, and find it. Maybe start a club, but there are people like you at HBCU.
Yeah. And still, I mean, black people are more loving and accepting.
Oh, for sure.
Are. Even if, grandma might not like that you bringing home your gay friend, but
she gonna make sure they
eat. You gonna get some pork chops.
You gonna get some pork chops. You're gonna sit at the back of the table. Come on in here and get something to eat.
Exactly.
Right.
And then afterwards they might talk about you, but they gonna accept you.
Oh, they might be like, when that gay boy coming back here now? I like him.
He seems like he got
his
some
lifestyle, his business, and it might not be right. Grandma,
he seemed nice.
Grandma ain't gonna be appropriate, but in the end, we gonna love you, right?
Yes.
We're
gonna feed you and treat you nice at the house. And that's how it is in HBCU, I feel like, And you can find your people at a PWI too, but your people are going to be more loving and more accepting and encompassing.
Oh, people definitely
HBCU.
find their people at PWIs, but what I'm saying is, at an HBCU is not just your friends. It's like every professor you know
I was about to say that.
sees possibilities
in you.
Yes,
and pushes you.
Even
and talks to you in a way that might be disrespectful or inappropriate, but they're pushing you with love because they see so much in you and they care so much. So it is like your father or mother talking to you. Like, you better do that, and I want to see you. And
and they're going to recognize that you haven't been in class in 3 days.
They will.
They're going to see that,
and they're going to call you out.
Yes.
And they see
Because
the
they say,
whole
because you
person.
can do better.
Well, let me ask you this question, because I've had a couple of friends whose kids have went to HBCUs but transferred, and they said, well, they have never been around a lot of black people, right? And
but they've been around white people.
They like all their lives. They all their lives. Like my sons. My sons grew up in all white neighborhood, went to all white schools for the most part, and so similar backgrounds. Some of them are their friends, like they've never been in an all black environment. So I don't think that they could make it. And what do y'all think about that?
I think that sounds crazy. Because are you around your family? I mean, by the time you get around grandparents, uncles, I mean, aren't they all black? I don't understand. If you go to most people that I know, they go to all black churches.
Yes.
Like, it's not.
But also to me, those people think that black is one thing. Like it's like my kids are not like ghetto and they don't have this,
right.
Whatever. And I'm like, being black can exist in any space.
Right.
So my kids have no how they define black people. They have no street cred. They don't know any slang or they ain't nothing cool. If a fight breaks out, they're gonna run.
As they should.
Like the coolest thing they probably do that people would consider black is some of the music that they may listen to. But black is not one thing. And I would be devastated if my kids did not feel comfortable around their own people.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, because I don't think you would ever hear a white child say,
No.
I don't feel comfortable going to college because it's just all white.
True.
Right. Even
And that's how you even reverse it. It sounds ridiculous.
Right. But I've seen other people like, I've only been a while. But black people do this. That's what we started the conversation. Like black people do the same things. Find your people.
Right.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. We mentioned a lot of reasons why people don't go to HBCUs is because it's more expensive.
Yeah.
Like we don't have the money and the scholarships to give people.
That's right.
And so, which I respect, like go where you could go.
Absolutely. Just go.
But a lot of these HBCU students are the ones who went to the private schools, are the ones who have parents who can afford to pay the tuition because we don't have the funding that these PWIs have. So don't think that you're going to school with, I don't know, like the people like Felicia from Friday or something like that. She might be there, but what I'm saying is there's also Hillary from the Cosby. There's all Hillary from Wells. It's a range of whatever, and so stop defining us that way. I don't know. Well, it's a conversation though. People just get hyped about. But thank y'all for talking to me about it.
That was nice.
Get you the card.
Yeah,
Get
Ooh, that was fun.
Get your